put your leg over my head? Jordan asked cheerfully. Remember when I didn't want to? Barbara Jean replied, panting slightly. Is that legal? Reba stammered, feeling like an intruder. I mean, necessary? It's critical to stretch the muscles out before you exercise them, Jordan explained, his tone professional. Yeah, otherwise you could really hurt something. He released Barbara Jean's leg. Turn over. Barbara Jean obediently flipped onto her stomach on the mat. Reba, you need to watch this one, Jordan said, gesturing for her to come closer. This one is my favorite. He knelt beside Barbara Jean and placed his hands on her back, gently pulling her arms backward. All right, now this gives a good stretch to the back and chest muscles. Really should do this once a day. Oh, I'd do it all day if I could, Barbara Jean sighed blissfully. Reba felt a bead of sweat form on her forehead. Is this one of these gyms that has the heat on real high?
I'm sweating.
Okay, Jordan said, releasing Barbara Jean. Oh wow, time for some weightlifting. Oh good, Reba said, relieved. That's enough of that stretching. Jordan helped Barbara Jean to her feet. Hello. Okay, knock this out. He handed her a pair of dumbbells. Yeah, okay, all right. Reba watched them for a moment longer, feeling a complex mix of emotions. She had seen what she needed to see, and she wasn't sure she liked it. I think I've seen enough. So, what do you think? Barbara Jean asked, pausing her workout. You have any interest in getting a personal trainer? Only if he takes me out to dinner first, Reba quipped. Are you sure, Reba? Barbara Jean asked, suddenly serious. Seriously, this is one of the best relationships I've ever had. Reba looked at Jordan, who was busy adjusting a nearby machine. Oh, I think Jordan has his hands full with you. Oh, you're a beginner, Reba, Jordan chimed in. You'll start with Dot. Yeah. This is Reba. She seems a little tense. I'd spend some extra time on the stretching. Hey, get down there. He gestured toward a formidable-looking woman who was currently doing one-armed push-ups with a frightening level of intensity. Reba gulped and quickly headed for the exit. Back at the house, Brock was pacing the living room floor, waiting for Reba's report. The moment she walked through the door, he pounced. So, did you see him? What's he like? Is he little? Could I take him? He bombarded her with questions. Reba collapsed onto the sofa, exhausted. He's big, but he's not as big as Dot. Brock looked confused but pressed on. So, what do you think? Is there something going on there? Reba sighed, looking up at him. Look, Brock, I was hoping that I could go down to the gym and check things out and come back and tell you that there's nothing to worry about. But that's it, Brock interrupted, his worst fears confirmed. Reba, come on, Brock urged, wanting to hear the rest. Okay, Reba continued. I don't know if they're having an affair or not, but if they keep working out like that, they might be having a baby. Brock groaned, running a hand over his face. Man, I knew there was something going on. Just then, the front door opened, and Barbara Jean walked in, glowing with post-workout endorphins. Hey, everybody. I'm here and I'm saying well. Oh, hi, honey, Brock said, his voice dripping with forced casualness. Barbara Jean narrowed her eyes. Don't you hi honey me. What are you talking about? Brock feigned ignorance.
Oh, men. Barbara Jean sighed, dropping her gym bag.
Did you honestly think that I wouldn't find out about you and Jordan? Brock looked bewildered. What? We were working out. It was perfectly innocent. Barbara Jean turned to Reba. Reba, tell him what you saw. Reba held up her hands in surrender. I don't want to get involved. She said you're having an affair, Brock blurted out. Any more than I already am, Barbara Jean shot back. Okay, Jordan and I are not having an affair, Barbara Jean declared firmly. He's gay. The room went silent. Brock stared at her, dumbfounded. What? Reba, do you honestly think I would let a straight man grab my breasts? Excuse me, Brock said, his voice rising in panic. He grabbed your breasts? He's gay. He wasn't touching them, Barbara Jean clarified impatiently. He was arranging them. Carry on with your lives. She turned to leave the room, but Brock stopped her.
No, Reba.
Everything is not fine. I had no idea you were so threatened by the new me. The slim waist, the toned legs, the phallus. The phallus, Reba echoed, confused. The girls, Barbara Jean corrected herself. Oh, the puppies. She patted her chest affectionately. I am not threatened by you, Reba stated calmly. Really? Barbara Jean challenged. Yeah. Then why did you go down to the gym? What were you spying on me? Reba hesitated. No. Okay, yes. I went down to the gym because I thought there was something going on between you and Jordan. Why would you think that? Barbara Jean demanded, her feelings hurt. Because you've changed, Reba said softly. I have not, Barbara Jean protested defensively. Yes, you have, Reba insisted. Ever since you lost all that weight, you're pushy and obnoxious, and you always want to be the center of attention. Hello? I've always been that way, Barbara Jean pointed out, a hint of a smile playing on her lips. Brock chimed in softly. She kind of got a point there. Reba nodded slowly. Yeah, well, something's changed, Barbara Jean. Yeah, the way you guys look at me, Barbara Jean said, her voice filled with quiet sadness. I'm still the same Barbara Jean I always was. I'm just less winded. The truth of her words hung in the air. Brock looked ashamed, and Reba felt a pang of guilt. I know she might be right, Brock admitted quietly. Could be us. I'm sorry, honey, Brock said, stepping closer to Barbara Jean and taking her hand. Reba just got me all worked up. That's... Look, Barbara Jean, Reba interrupted, wanting to come clean. The truth is I think I went down to the gym almost hoping that I'd find you doing something wrong. You know, anything. So I could feel superior to you and your skinny butt. So,
I'm sorry.
Barbara Jean looked at Reba, surprised.
Sorry.
Yeah. A slow, triumphant smile spread across Barbara Jean's face. This is great. For the first time since we've known each other, you want to be me. I don't want to be you, Reba denied immediately. I know. It's even better. Barbara Jean clapped her hands together joyfully. You want to look like me. She spun around and headed for the kitchen, humming a happy tune. Hey, where are you going? Brock called after her. Just gonna go grab something to eat, Barbara Jean replied over her shoulder. I'll see you next year. Reba and Brock exchanged a look, both amused and exhausted by the entire ordeal. Later that evening, Ben was sitting on the sofa, engrossed in a video game. Brock walked in and stood behind him, watching the screen. Hey, buddy, what are we watching? Brock asked, trying to sound interested. No, we're not, Ben said flatly, not taking his eyes off the game. Want a rock, paper, scissor for it? Brock suggested playfully. Let's go, Ben agreed. They both held out their hands. You're gonna pick scissors, aren't you? Ben asked suspiciously. Get out, Brock laughed, ruffling Ben's hair. Cheyenne came down the stairs, carrying a brightly colored box. Hey, honey. Hey, baby. I need to talk to you. Van looked up from the magazine he was reading. Oh, honey, I just got the TV. Well, I started thinking that maybe you don't think of me as new pretty because I don't do enough to keep your interest, Cheyenne explained, holding up the box. No, honey, you're way hot, Van assured her quickly. Guilty, Cheyenne agreed, accepting the compliment. But anyway, I thought that maybe I should, change my look every now and then just to keep things fresh. So, I bought a wig. She opened the box and pulled out a vibrant red wig, holding it up to her face. Van stood up and gently took the wig from her hands. Cheyenne, put that down. Listen to me. I think it's a good thing that when I look at you, I don't see